presentation is learning to become a master presenter and having the unfair advantage. And we're also going to be reviewing our brand new 360 presentation that has recently been introduced. So, guys, I'm excited to be on the call here tonight. You know, it's one of those things that when it comes to this business, guys, you know, I learned from my mentors and such that, you know, there's going to manage in this business. I can tell you that you definitely, without a doubt, guys, you want to make sure that that advantage resides on, you know, your side of the table, if you will, when it comes to, you know, getting out there and sharing this opportunity and going out and getting face-to-face. Now, obviously, our format is really going to revolve more around your one-on-one as opposed to revolving around, you know, your bigger group meetings. We do trainings on that as well, learning how to become a master speaker. Tonight is not quite as much on that, guys. We're going to kind of focus more on your one-on-ones, your two-on-ones, your three-on-ones, etc. But I think you'll find that this is going to be helpful for you. And here's the reason why, guys. In the network marketing business, you got to know your numbers, right? You got to know where your volume comes from, where will your enrollments come from, where the people are going to come from, etc. And according to the Direct Sales Association, we know that 77% all enrollments in the net industry are made face-to-face. Now, of course, some of those come from the bigger meetings. Many of them come from the happy hours, executive lunches, but a lot of them also come face-to-face, okay? So we love our conference calls, guys. We love our webinars. We love the internet. We love all that. We love our sizzle messages. All of those things are fantastic, guys. But at the end of the day, 3/4 of the sales made in this industry happen from face-to-face presentations. And, guys, that's really where you want to be, is learning, again, to become that master presenter and learning how to make sure that the advantage, okay, because there will be advantage to someone. And, ladies and gentlemen, you want to make sure that that advantage is to you, okay, so that you can have your absolute best shot at being able to bring that prospect into your business. So, guys, take some great notes today. This is going to be a training you'll be able to, frankly, guys, you'll be able to use it for quite some time, and it's going to be some notes you'll want to, kind of return back to, if you will. I would encourage you to take your notes tonight 2 different ways. The first way that I would take them is I would take them as a student. In other words, I would take them as looking at this thing and saying, okay, how can I learn from this information here? And the second way that I would encourage you to look at the information tonight is that as of a teacher, because obviously, guys, you're going to want to learn the information, and you're going to want to teach the information down into your organization and down into your team, guys. So with that being said, let's get started here tonight. Guys, obviously every presentation is going to first begin with setting of the appointment. And, setting of an appointment is something that sometimes some people struggle. I did when I first got started, in the industry. Oh, my gosh, man, I was so scared. I was scared of my own shadow, man. I was afraid to pick the phone up, and I was afraid to call anyone. I was just, I was excited, you know what I mean? But it was just tons of nervous energy and nervous excitement. Guys, in your trainer, we do, in your planner, we actually have quite a bit of information loaded up there for you in your planner about the invitation process. We've got some great scripts that are available for you. That you might want to, consider checking out. What I want to do tonight is not go through a full, total, training on how to invite, but I do want to do some of the information for you, on, really some key points on the invitation process and really focus most of our time on presenting. The thing that I just want to say to you guys, there's basically 3 different ways to invite. You have your product invitation, okay? You have your opportunity presentation, and then you have really kind of what I call your A-player script. In other words, the type of script that you want to use when you're dealing with a very serious A player, okay, who's looking at your business. The thing that I want you to say when it comes to the invitation, or once you really understand, is that the most important thing is that you get the appointment and get off the phone. Remember this, guys. The reason that you sample, the reason you invite, okay, and contact that person to a meeting, you're looking at them to an appointment. You're not necessarily trying to get them to sign up. I watch people oftentimes, they get on the phone and they call their prospects and they want to go into so much information and they want to get into so much detail with their prospects. And part of the reason is because they feel like that, they need to, kind of maybe get that person signed up or get them enrolled. And guys, here's the thing. I mean, when you do the invitation, you've got to have a goal. And so you're doing your inviting, your attitude needs to be that my target, my goal, my purpose, if you will, is to basically get the appointment. So the great thing about that is if you'll get the appointment, then you can turn right around and you can get off home very quickly. And that obviously is the main purpose and the main goal. So when I'm contacting and inviting guys, I like to keep it short. I like to keep it sweet. I like to keep it to the point. I like to remember that my purpose is to obviously get them to the presentation. I'm not trying to sign them up, so to speak, right? I'm simply trying to pique their interest, get them to the presentation so I can give them the full story. There's an old saying that until you can say everything, don't say anything. And that's a pretty good one right there. Until you can say everything, don't say anything. The other thing I just want to offer when it comes to the invitation process and getting your appointments, to be that master presenter app, guys, is just remember your mission. Your mission in the prospecting process is not to enroll or sign up guests. The person has to decide whether or not they want to sign up for themselves. Your mission is to simply collect a decision from that guest, okay? Guys, we know this. We know about 20% of the app population is open to an opportunity, looking for something different in their life. Could be a product they're looking for, could be the opportunity they're looking for. The point is that not everybody's looking, guys, and so don't expect everybody to look, okay? But remember, your mission is to simply collect a decision, and if you collect a decision, even if it's a no, you have still been successful. And that's something important that I want you guys to remember as we move forward here into creating the unfair advantage and becoming a master presenter, okay? So, guys, refer to your planner, page 10, 11, and 12. Really get into your invitation scripts and really get into some tips. They're excellent for you, really giving the 4 points of a proper invitation. I don't want to get into that tonight. It's just not the purpose of the training. What I want to focus on is really learning how to be that master presenter and how to create the unfair advantage. Guys, I want to show you how to make the advantage so much in your favor that the prospect is about 90% in the company before you ever finish the presentation, okay? About 50% in the business, but when you first even sit down to start the presentation, okay? So a couple things here when it comes to setting up your meeting. One big tip that I'll give you guys, again, we said it there, get the appointment, get off the phone, or it could be pass out the sample, get the appointment, and get out of there. The point is, when you're out for the meeting, just get the meeting scheduled and move on. You can always come back and fill the rest in later. If you can't say everything, don't say anything. Point number 2, always get the spouse to the appointment if there's any way possible, and or significant other, okay? The reality is, guys, is that if you don't have their spouse there, for those, the prospects that applies to, it doesn't mean that you can't enroll them without the spouse in attendance, guys, but I can tell you it makes a huge difference, not only whether or not you can enroll them, but it also makes a huge difference in what they'll do after they enroll. There's another old saying, you'll find I'm full of them, but one of the old sayings that a mentor taught me years ago is that people tend to be down on the things that they're not on. And when the spouse is not up on 360 chocolate and the husband or wife comes home all excited, oh my gosh, honey, we're going to get wealthy in the chocolate business, and oh, I just spent $1,300 and we're having a happy hour with all our friends 2 nights from now. They find the other spouse not quite as confident as the first one, right? And so just know, guys, that's important. People are down on what they're not up on. You definitely want to get the spouse plugged in as much as you can there. Now, let's talk about this, guys. When it comes to the actual appointment itself, I will tell you that a lot of people want to just do one-on-one, and if they have a prospect, they only want that one prospect to be there. Let me just say this to you, folks. You always want to get more than one prospect to the meeting if there's any way possible, okay? If I can show the plan to 2, 3, 4 people at a time, I'll do it any day of the week at the same presentation, because my experience in 18 years has taught me that there's not a whole lot of advantage, to try to get somebody one-on-one. Oftentimes people will want that. Mostly, by the way, it's the sponsor who usually wants the one-on-one the most, because they think that that's going to make a huge difference. Oftentimes the prospect, they just want to meet you one-on-one. And I'm not saying that I won't meet one-on-one. I certainly will. But, guys, I'm a big believer in creating arbitrage, create leverage, right? Arbitrage is taking 2 and creating 3, right? And I just, guys, if you're going to invest that same hour, why not have 2 or 3 or 4 people that you're showing the plan to versus just one person? And so do your best to try to get multiple prospects there at one time if you can. It's simple and easy, maybe just a bigger table. You can still use a regular 8.5 by 11 presentation book. You can still play a video on a small screen for 3, 4, 5 people just as easily as you can for one. As a matter of fact, my experience is I've presented in a one-on-one type way to as many as 12 to 15 people. I've done that many times, okay, but it had the same style as a one-on-one with a presentation book, not, a screen behind me and things along those lines, okay, seated at the table. All right, let's talk about where your presentations are held, okay. First and foremost, guys, here's the thing. As a leader in this business, you can't operate off the cuff, okay. You can't be a rookie. You want to be able to be successful, and you want to be able to create the types of incomes that are possible here with 360 Chocolate. So a couple of things you need to have here, guys. You need to have your locations. Now, you need to have your locations in 2 different ways. The first is you need to have your locations for different times of the day, okay? And then secondly, you have your locations for different parts of town. Let me explain what I mean by that. I live in the Dallas area. Dallas is a pretty large city, about 5 million people. Fort Worth kind of borders next to Dallas as well. And so I'm in a larger city. Many of you are luckier in that, you don't live in quite as large of a town. It's a little easier for you, for people to get, this place or another. But Dallas is the size, and goodness, you could drive for an hour and make your destination depending upon what part of town it's in. So what I have here, folks, in Dallas is this. I know that when I'm on the phone with my prospect and I'm talking to someone who lives in, maybe northeast Dallas, or maybe they live in Arlington, or maybe they live in South Dallas, or inside the loop, whatever, the last thing that I have time to do when I'm trying to get the appointment and get off the phone is try to be sitting there for 5 minutes debating with my prospect where to meet to have the presentation, okay? In addition to that, guys, I have a rule. I never like to plan in a location that I don't intimately know, okay? I want to control my environment so I can have the best upper hand advantage possible. So what I have, folks, is I have at about 5 or 6 different parts of town have a standard location, okay? For example, in northeast Dallas, I have a standard location that I show the plan to, or show the plan at. Not every, okay, guys, we got a little background noise on the speaker line. It's not that I show the plan there every single time, but I can tell you I show the plan at this one location about 99.9% of every time I do a presentation in northeast Dallas, okay? Just happens to be a hotel lobby. Now, I also have the same thing in northwest Dallas, okay? So we have kind of a northeast and a northwest part of town. Same thing with northwest Dallas. So if I'm meeting a prospect who lives in, let's just say like the Denton area, for example, I already know where I'm going to meet them. I don't have to go, well, where's a good place? Well, no, that place isn't there anymore. And then all of a sudden they get lost and I get lost, or I walk into an environment where, it's super loud, or the lighting is terrible, or whatever it may be. I like to be somewhere where I know that I'm going to go. Same thing is true with meetings that I have inside the loop. I have a location that I use by the airport. Exact same nation every single time. It's just, guys, it's just what we do. And so you want to have those as well for yourself. You also want to make sure that that you have locations within those areas for different times of the day. For example, there are some places you might go for breakfast, but you might not go for lunch. Or there's some places you might have lunch meetings at that you might not do dinner meetings. Okay, you may have non-mealtime locations. For example, in the northeast part of town, I've got a great restaurant that I love to go to for lunch. It's excellent for presenting. And then some hotel lobbies you so enjoy lunch at, right? Some places aren't good, during the lunch hour. It's better when things are a little more quieter, or you may have a rowdy happy hour crowd, things like that. I've even gone to locations during the times, that I wanted to be able to use that location just to kind of get a sense of where it's at. You guys, Angie and I do that. We've got our big Super Saturday coming up March the 8th. The hotel that we're using, we're very familiar with. But before we ever did our first event at that hotel, she and I went to the hotel and we walked the property. So we knew exactly what we were going to get ourselves into, okay? The point, ladies and gentlemen, is know your location. Very important. You never, ever, ever, if you can, okay, ever go do a presentation there in a location that you don't know intimately. Now, what are you looking for in your location? Let me just share a few things that you're looking for. First of all, guys, you're looking for ambiance and you're looking for presentation. let's be honest, guys. It may not be politically correct, but the simple reality is that people pay attention to other people. In this business, guys, you are portraying abundance. It could provide wealth, okay? And it's happening. We've got leaders in this business that make $10, $20, $30, $40,000 per week, guys, per week in 360, not per month. So there's opportunities here for you to get very wealthy in this opportunity. And the simple reality is this. People say, what's your number one product? Chocolate. And although that's true, I got to also let you know that the number one product here will always be opportunity, guys. That's the number one thing people are looking for. Chocolate helps to provide that opportunity. So at the end of the day, guys, unless you're dealing with a retail customer, people are looking for opportunity. So the point is, your location can really set the tone for communicating non-verbally, okay, that you are successful, that this is a successful company, and that this is a business that they could very well want to see themselves be a part of. And the thing about it, especially when it comes to hotel locations, you know, guys, and restaurants in some cases as well, I'll touch on those in a moment, but guys, hotel lobbies are free. You can do a one-on-one presentation at the Ritz-Carlton for the same price that you can do a one-on-one presentation at a Super 8. But let me ask you a question. What do you think provides a better ambiance or a better impression to your prospect, the Super 8 or the Ritz? Okay, you know, guys, and you don't have to go to the Ritz. It could be a Hyatt, could be a Marriott, could be a nice Hilton. The point, ladies and gentlemen, is that you set the tone with that location. The point to hobbies, they're all free, okay, every one of them. Now, they're not all the same, I will tell you that, but they're all free, and I'll cover that in a moment. Same thing is true with restaurants. You know, guys, it's interesting in that some of your higher-end restaurants, you know, guys, their lunch menu is no more expensive Chili's, no more expensive than a TGI Fridays or an Applebee's, okay? Their dinner might be 3 or 4 times more expensive, but oftentimes the lunch menus are not. Same thing could be true in the case of them serving breakfast, okay? So you're looking for ambiance, guys. You're looking for that first impression of what type of feeling, if you will, is the location going to provide to you and to your prospects. So you may not be rubbing 2 nickels together, guys, but you can still set your bottom down in the lobby of a fine hotel, and you can do it free of charge, okay? Now, a couple of other things I'll say. You're not just looking for nice hotels. You're also looking for conducive environments, okay? For example, lighting. What is the lighting like inside of the hotel? Okay? The reality is that we do everything brightly lit. You know, we were at a convention. We had a well-meaning employee that was offering to turn the lights down in the audience. I told her, do not do that. Turn every single light on that this place has, and you guys may recall, if you were there, we even brought in lighting to wash the stage from the back. I think I was seeing bright spots for about 3 days because that light from the back of the room was shining straight in my face for 2 days, right? But you know, guys, that's just the deal. We keep things very well lit in this business in everything that we do. Another thing that you're looking for, okay, is noise levels. All right, folks, it's not conducive. I mean, you know, some of the new hotels and restaurants kind of have the hip flair to them, and they kind of have beat music playing in the background a little louder. You know, folks, that's not a conducive location for you to show the plan, okay? It doesn't mean you might not want to enjoy some time there when you're off and socializing, but you're not looking for that. You're looking for somewhere very well lit. You're looking for somewhere that is quiet, but not too quiet. You got to make sure that you can speak. I've been in situations where I've been thrown into a location before, and it was so quiet, every single person in the whole hotel lobby could hear what I was saying. I'm not referring to that either, okay? You obviously want to be able to have enough private conversation with the table location and that sort of thing as you can, you know, but you also don't want to have it be too loud with either music or perhaps, you know, we've, you know, had situations where, you know, we're trying to do presentations in convention center hotel lobbies, and you know, you walk in, there's nowhere to sit, you know, and here you are, you look kind of foolish because you're trying to walk around with your prospect telling them that they can make 6 figures in this exploding chocolate opportunity, and you can't even find a table, you know, or you go in, it's just so busy. And so again, guys, that's where it comes back to knowing your location, kind of having your comfort spots, you know, located, so you know exactly what table you're probably going to sit at when you first walk in, right? You might even get to know the staff and the doorman, you know, here and there. You know, you'd be amazed what 5 to a doorman can do.
It's always impressive when you pull up to valet or pull up to the doorman and he welcomes you and says, well, hello, Mr. Aguilar, it's good to have you with us. Thank you for being here tonight. Or, well, Mr. Fulcher, it's great to see you again. You know, that's impressive when your prospect goes, wow, they must come here often. Well, maybe you only go there for meetings and you tip them $5 every time, right? You'd be amazed at how that can work for you. But again, guys, you want to look at your lighting. You want to look at your noise levels, things like music. Another one as well, be careful. Some hotel lobbies, embassy suites are the worst. They all have the, you know, kind of the old lobby theme going on with waterfalls and that sort of thing. You know, guys, you just carry out in Birmingham this way. I can't show the plan there because when you walk in, there's the huge waterfall sound. And the simple reality is it puts everybody to sleep, including the presenter, okay? And so you got to watch out for things like noise levels, and you got to make sure that the atmosphere is conducive. It's not going to put everybody to bed. Make sure it's nice and well lit, okay? So the biggest lesson there, guys, is, again, always have your location. Never show the plan if it can be prevented in a place that you're not familiar with and you don't know the lay of the land, so to speak, okay? Now, point number 5 in becoming a master presenter, guys, is dressing the part. Listen, we are not an organization that's going to tell you that you got to wear a suit and tie to all your meetings. I don't buy that. I've got a friend of mine who was in a network marketing business prior to ours, and he and I met up for lunch one day, and he was wearing a suit. It's probably 150 degrees outside in Dallas, and he's wearing a suit. He's sweating like crazy, and I remember that his neck was bulging out because his tie was so tight. I just said, "Are you comfortable?" He was like, "No." I said, "Take your tie off, man." Guys, you don't have to wear a suit and tie to look nice. You know, it's amazing. You know, you don't have to have expensive clothes. It's just a matter of doing your best with what you have. You know, little things like, you know, getting your shirt pressed for 79 cents at the dry cleaner, okay? Spending $3 to get your shoes shined, okay? Little things like that can make a difference to you, you know, when it comes to, you know, kind of looking the part, so to speak. But you just need to remember, guys, that you are your best advertisement, okay? And you're selling hope. You're selling opportunity. And it's difficult when you sit across the table from someone and you're sharing with them that you can make 6 figures in this opportunity, and you look like you make less than, you know, than $50 a week, okay? And again, guys, this does not mean that you have to have expensive clothes. When I first got started, I didn't have any of it. As a matter of fact, I used to go to thrift stores and actually purchase clothes that were used on consignment at thrift stores, because Angie and I at that time didn't have a lot of money. We lived in a small 800-square-foot apartment, and I couldn't afford to buy Italian suits and fine shoes and ties and things like that. So I would literally go to thrift stores, guys, and I would purchase suits that were on sale, that were used. I still have some of them today. It's amazing. I'll wear one in particular I'll wear from time to time. I still get compliments on. I bought the suit 10 years ago. Probably paid 90% less than what I would have paid at a department store for the same, you know, the same suit. Okay, so again, guys, it's not about having to have fancy stuff. It's not about needing a Rolex watch. That stuff helps, but you don't need that. Okay, the point is doing the best with what you have. A lot of people just don't focus on this, and they don't think it matters. And guys, I'm telling you, it does matter. Okay, you need to look the part when it comes to doing your business. It could be, you know, getting your car washed and having a clean vehicle versus a dirty vehicle. You don't need to drive a luxury car to be successful in building your business. I used to drive a pickup truck, okay? You know, but guess what? My pickup truck was clean. You know, it's not that you have to have a new car, but you need to have a clean car for those times your prospect needs to capture your vehicle to get something out of the car, you know, or maybe you pull up to the front of the hotel and all of a sudden your prospect walks out at the same time you do, and your car, you can't even see through the window. Somebody wrote "wash me" on the side. You know what I'm saying? It's just little things like that, guys, that do make the difference. There's a book that came out about 20 years ago. It's called "Don't Sweat the Small Stuff." You may remember the book, and the premise of the book I agree with, which was, you know, most of it we worry about in life, you know, we can't do anything about it anyway, right? But I will tell you guys, when it comes to building this business, you need to learn to sweat the small stuff. The small things, ladies and gentlemen, make huge differences in this business, guys. And again, your appearance, dress, things like that. It's just, guys, just look professional. It could be shirt in. I mean, guys, you can wear a nice pair of jeans, but the difference could be you can wear a blazer, okay, with those jeans. You've seen me do meetings that way many times. It could be the difference in wearing a pair of loafers versus a pair of tennis shoes, okay? combing your hair versus wearing a ball cap, shaving, versus going unshaven. Things on those lines, guys, that matter, okay? Another thing I'll mention, too, when it comes to being a master presenter, be aware of personal hygiene, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, this is not maybe the most pleasant conversation to have, but it's the truth. Be aware of things like bad breath, okay? Be aware of things like body odor. Be aware of how you present yourself if you're eating, and things like dining etiquette. Things that I was with a prospect one time. We were entertaining a networker, myself and a gentleman that was in my downline. And we had just had a great lunch meeting. We were at a steakhouse, Lowry's Primary Steakhouse in Dallas, and we had a great lunch. And this guy was looking like he was going to come on board. And I don't know if what I'm going to tell you about is the reason he didn't or not, but I can tell you that he didn't come on board, even though it looked like he was going to. But as we were all leaving, we all went to the restroom because we had had a longer lunch. And so everyone, the three of us each needed to use the restroom. So we went to the restroom and did our business. And then he and I, the prospect, and I went to the sink, and we began to wash our hands. And the sponsor, the gentleman in my downline who was recruiting this person, did not wash his hands. And I remember the prospect looking at him, kind of almost in shock, if you will. The guy didn't wash his hands after going to the bathroom, And I think he avoided shaking his hand, if I remember. My point is, guys, small things, big difference, right? You would think this stuff would matter, and most of the time it probably wouldn't. But if that time that you catch yourself in the restroom at the same time as your prospect, or the prospect happens to walk out just as you're getting in your car, you know what I'm saying? They happen to lean forward and give you a hug or shake just after you finish eating some onions. One good rule of thumb is always have breath mints in your bag or whatever it may be. But just being aware of personal hygiene, guys, being aware of dress. Again, the small things. Most of this stuff is free. If anything, it may cost a few pennies. It's the awareness that matters, okay? When it comes to doing meetings, ladies and gentlemen, here's the cardinal rule, okay? Never, ever, ever. A master presenter is never late to a meeting, folks. As a matter of fact, a master presenter is always at the location before their prospect. If you want to be a master presenter, you can't be rolling into meetings late. And guys, listen. All right, I know why you're in network marketing. You're in network marketing for the same reason I am. The last thing I feel like doing is being in a corporate job, okay? I don't want to get up and put a suit on, guys. I don't want to have to be in an office environment where you have all your corporate America politics and all this and that, and you got people that are watching you all the time and telling you when to come and when to go. And I don't want any of that either, ladies and gentlemen. But listen, you are running what could be a multi-million-dollar business. You got to be professional. One of the most rude things that you can do in business, guys, is being late. It's one of the most rudest things that can be done. It's incredibly disrespectful and something we all deal with from time to time. I'll tell you how to deal with it when it happens. But guys, you don't want to be late, okay? But not only do you not want to be late, folks, you want to be early. Matter of fact, for a leader, okay, early is on time. If you're on time as a leader, you're 15 minutes early, okay? Now, I'll tell you why in a second. Be sure with you what to do with times where you are late, okay? If indeed you're going to be late, guys, give the person who's meeting you as much advance notice as you possibly can. All right, you'll be amazed at how you can avoid someone being upset because even when you're extremely late, if you give them as much advance notice as possible. Guys, we all have them, you know what I'm saying? You can't find recently I was traveling and was trying to get to a meeting, and I was going to the airport from the meeting, and I was leaving the country, and I couldn't find my passport. Guys, stuff like that's going to happen to all of us, right? And so, but as soon as I knew I couldn't find it, the very first thing I did is I sent a text to the prospect that I was meeting actually at the airport, at the Hyatt at the airport, so I could go and check my bags and such to be able to meet with this gentleman. But I sent him a text very early on. I mean, it was probably 45 minutes before the meeting, and he made a comment to me. He said, "Man, I really appreciate you sending me that text to let me know." He said, "because I was able to get some extra work done in my office before I drove over here to meet you." And so he got there late because he knew I was coming, right? And I was going to be late. So the point is, guys, is always, if you can, give as much advance notice to the person as possible. Cardinal rule, if you're going to be late, always let the other person know. Give them a heads up, guys, and let them know, I'm going to be late. I apologize. I'll be there as fast as I can. Small hint, gesture of courtesy. If you want to make somebody mad, leave them sitting there on the curb or leave them sitting at a table in a restaurant or something waiting there for you, and here you are, they're on time, I mean, they could probably find some other things to do as well. I'm sure. I know for me, if it can be laid on me, I'm okay with it. But give me advance notice because you know what, I could probably find a few things to do that extra 15 minutes also. But you know, I probably wouldn't choose to sit there waiting by the curb or choose to sit there waiting in a restaurant. I might still be in my office or up in my hotel room or whatever, you know, getting some emails knocked out, things along those lines, okay? But as a rule, guys, I mean, again, it's going to happen from time to time, but as a rule, time is 15 minutes early. And I'll tell you the reason why. You always want to be at the location before your prospect ever arrives, okay? For a few reasons. Number one is seating. Guys, when it comes to being a master presenter never allows the prospect to choose where they're going to sit, okay? I don't do this in anything. We were just actually at the Gold Club, and we had dinner. We had a wonderful celebration dinner for Ritz Carlton and Jack Dusty's. It was incredible. We ate like kings and queens. It was just awesome. But guys, you know, the first thing that I did, matter of fact, Angie and I had talked about that's where people were going to sit. Before we even got left our hotel room, we already discussed where the party, you know, who was going to be sitting where for the party, okay? Because again, guys, that's a meal, a 2-hour meal, and those conversations aren't by accident. So I want certain people by one another. I want certain people to get to know one another. For example, we had Ginger and Greg Stiver, who are Ginger's a vet, Greg a dentist, and we had Dr. Saeed and Tammy, who were at the recognition dinner we had recently, and we purposely had sit by Dr. De Silva. You know, we kind of called it a doctor's corner down there, basically so that, you know, so that they could kind of, you know, they're all kind of physicians and doctors and medical experts, and they had a great time getting to know each other, and just, you know, they share a common interest, you know. And so I do it at big dinners, I do it at recognition events, and never, ever done by accident, okay? But also, guys, on the one-on-ones in particular, because you want your prospect, a couple things about seating, guys, you never want your prospect to be distracted. You want your prospect to be focused on you, okay? And it reminds me of this kind of lesson here, reminds me of back in the 80s, there was an infomercial that used to be on for an audio program for students, and it was something parents, it was marketing to parents. It was called Where There's a Will, There's an A. And many of you may remember the infomercial, and basically it was, you know, all these different students that had gone from, you know, failing out of school to making straight A's after buying this program, owning the, you know, the recommendations. One of the number one recommendations in that program, which was incredibly simple, was always have your students sit, your son or daughter, make sure they sit on the front row. The reason for that is because if they sat on the back row, not only would they have to be watching the teacher, but they would automatically be distracted by all the different conversations and gestures and, you know, movement of all the students that were in between them and the teachers. So one of the number one rules they said was always sit on the front row. Well, that same rule applies here when it comes to your prospects. You never, ever want your prospect to be facing anything but you. Matter of fact, my golden rule is I don't want my prospect seeing anything but me. That's it. If I can help it, right? So let's just say hypothetically I'm in a four top. I got two seats facing the wall. I got two seats that face, you know, one toward the lobby, the other one toward the window. I will never, ever my prospect at the chair, window, or lobby. But you need to realize that if your prospect arrives first, the natural inclination is for the prospect to sit. You know, they're not going to put their back to the lobby or to the window. They're going to sit where they can see the lobby, and that way they see you when you come in, etc. That's why you have to, so you can get seated and make sure you can choose where your prospect is going to sit. So, for example, I'm right-handed. I always want my prospect seated on my right, where the four-top table. I'm right-handed. That way I can hold my book up with my left arm, and I can write with my right hand. Okay. If you're left-handed, you might want to do it the other way. If I've got two people that I'm meeting with, and I've got a distributor alongside with me, I always want my distributor to my, so that I'm able to hold the book up, and I don't have to constantly play swivel neck with every single person, right? In addition to that, guys, here's a little tip. This is a master presenter's conference call. You never want two prospects seated at the table looking at one another, because they will communicate non-verbally through eye contact. And folks, what they communicate may not be in your favor, okay? It may not give you the unfair advantage. It might give them the unfair advantage, right? You may have one prospect really excited. He looks up the other prospect right across the table, and he looks at him and rolls his eyes. You can lose the meeting in there. So the point is, guys, is that, again, be the master presenter, small detail. Be there 15 minutes early. Make that your rule. That's on time. If you got a parking garage you got to deal with, hey, you're going to be there early enough to park your car, get inside, get to the table, and choose your seat. If you have the distributors that are with you, I mandate, very rarely do I ever want to show the plan without a distributor being there, because I want them to learn, get trained. But I tell them, hey, if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. And if you're late, you're not admitted. I need you to be there so you can be seated also, so we can do this the right way and create that unfair advantage and do our best to get these folks in your business, okay? Now, a couple of other things as well. By being there early, guys, you'll be able to deal with surprises. You know, there's always going to be surprises. It could be construction going on at the hotel. Maybe the lobby's halfway, under construction. By the way, if you haven't been there in a while, good idea to make a phone call. Hey, any changes at the hotel? Any construction going on? It's even if you have a reservation at a hotel, they won't tell you. A hotel I showed up to recently, the whole place was halfway torn down. I made the reservation, they didn't say a word until I showed up and went on money, right? Or else I probably wouldn't have gone on there. But again, if you haven't been there a long time, I think it's a good idea to put a phone call over. Hey, things change when any kind of construction law, something along those lines. Very rare that'll happen, but stuff does happen, okay? Or it could be things are blocked off or parking lots are closed or whatever. So it's just good to get there early, just so you're in control. That's all it is, okay? Now, one of the things that I'll touch on when it comes to robbing and having the unfair advantage, wait staff, okay? Wait staff. What do you do when you want to meet someone at a restaurant? You want to give a presentation. You may or may not want to be buying the prospect's lunch, but you may or may not want to be doing that. You also may or may not want them eating while you're trying to present. You may very well not want to eat yourself, or you might. That's up to you. Typically for me, if I'm giving a presentation out there for business, I don't want to eat. Guys, if you sit down in the waitstaff section, the waiter or waitress is going to approach you to get some food, and if you just sit down with your prospect says, yeah, I'll have that filet mignon and lobster for $50, right? So what I like to do, guys, is get there early. And, if I'm in a situation maybe we're having a breakfast meeting, I like to get there early, and I'll simply staff. Let me just say this, guys. You'll be amazed, okay? And this is just in life. You will be absolutely amazed at what a $5 bill can accomplish for you in life. $5. All you simply have to do, guys, is pull out a $5 bill and the wait staff say, excuse me, I've got a colleague that's going to be arriving here in a few moments, and he and I are just going to have some juice, maybe some tea, something like that. We're not going to order, so please don't offer food. We're not going to have breakfast. We're just going to have our meeting, okay? And just put $5, thank you very much. Guys, the term tip is actually an acronym that stands for to ensure promptness. To ensure promptness. In America, we kind of have gotten away from this. The original concept of the tip was to actually tip before the meal, to tip before the service, to ensure promptness from the staff, okay, from waiter or waitress. Nowadays, we do it the other way around. We usually tip at the end of the meal. I tell you what, man, try it sometime. Tip before you have the meal, and watch how attentive that waiter or waitress is to your table, okay? It's an amazing exercise in psychology. But again, guys, when you get there, you're doing that wait staff, like at a restaurant, for example. Or maybe you're just in a lounge at the hotel, but there's a waiter or cocktail waitress kind of walking around. Another thing, too, if you're doing evening functions, you may not want alcohol. I usually don't like to mix alcohol with business meetings, so you may not mind. That's your personal choice. But the point is, guys, if you go to a lobby during the happy hour time, the 4 p.m. or beyond, and you sit in your lounge, it's probably normal for the cocktail waitress to offer you a cocktail. And there's nothing more frustrating when you're there to do business and your prospects go, yeah, we'll have some wine or some pain or mixed drink. And you're like, no, I don't want. We're here to talk about serious business, but guys, you're too late at that point. So that's why it's good to be there early. Take care of the wait staff. You can instruct them to not offer alcohol. You can instruct them to not offer menus. You can instruct them to not offer food if you want to. Just you can even instruct them to, hey, just bring us some water, and that's all we want. Please don't offer any drinks. That's what you want to do. Guys, for me, when I was coming up in the business, my name was I did one-on-ones a lot. I didn't have time to really, I'm sorry, not have the money to be able to be, buying lunches a lot, being able to buy food a lot. So I would show up for $5. That was my budget. for, a few glasses of water, and that's about it. Maybe if they want to offer coffee or soda, but really beyond that, that would be about it. When you're doing 4 or 5 rolls, that can add up. So make sure you're there, guys, to take care of that wait staff. And just to know that what you're doing is going to be working in your favor, guys. As a master presenter, never wants surprises, okay? Never, ever wants surprises. Now, point number 7 of being a master presenter, folks, is always have the sponsor or another distributor with you, and you show the plan. Guys, in every single opportunity that I have to show them with another distributor or 2 or 3 or 4, I've done presentations with a couple of prospects and 5 distributors. The number one reason that I show the plan is not to enroll distributors. This is what I'm going to share with you right now, guys. What I'm telling you right now, this is no joke. Combined with hard work is what took my wife and I over $100,000 per month in net marketing 10 years ago. It's a big part of what has helped us earn about $12 million over the last decade. Guys, a lot of those people in network marketing think you show the plan to sign people up. Guys, you do show the plan to do some sign-ups. That is a reason I show the plan, but it is not the primary reason. The number one reason that I show the plan is to train and mentor. Okay? Here's the problem, guys. If you're showing the plan to a prospect and there's no other distributors that are with you, nobody's learning. Okay, you're learning, which is certainly good, but nobody besides you and the prospect is learning. Okay, so anytime you're doing a one-on-one, even if it's not a sponsor, okay, try to have somebody there with you. Just make sure they know the ground rules. They're going to be there earlier. I'll tell you about some of those in a moment, but make sure they're there and make sure you cover the ground rules with them. But have someone else there to listen to you and view it as an opportunity to train. Every time you do anything, a freeway, presentation. I think this call that we're doing tonight, we've got probably 250 people on this call right now. So my 1 hour invested on this call is training 250 people at one time. We're also recording the call so that another 200 or 500 or 1,000 people can go back and listen to this conference call in our library of archived trainings. How to become a master presenter. So great detail, and also obviously is powerful for learning to teach duplication. There's no Chinese proverb that says that it's not until we do something that we really begin to understand it. So you can hear this all night long, which is good, but man, you hopefully take a good note. But you guys, the point, you forget 80% of what you hear anyway. Okay, while we do recordings and things, you go back and listen. While we have audio programs like your Power Series. But the point, guys, is you want people there to train them as much as you possibly can anytime you do the presentation. Okay. Now, the sponsor, obviously, if it's the sponsor who's there and you're showing the plan for the sponsor, they are the ones that should really set the table. What I call set the table with the intro and the edification. Okay. But let me just say this: if you are there, if you're the sponsor, and I'm showing the plan for you, maybe for one of your prospects, which I'm happy to do, there are a couple of ground rules that are important, okay, to the presenter, especially the master presenter. The downline is going to follow, okay. Again, first and foremost, I like for the sponsor, if they're the person that knows myself and the prospect, there are a common link, I want the sponsor to do the introduction, not me. That's the first time I've met this person. I want the sponsor to do the edification and the intro. Now, sponsors, you've got to be careful on this. Sometimes sponsors get so excited and they get giddy about their prospect that they'll sit there for 5 minutes telling their upline how great their prospect is, and then they'll spend 5 seconds edifying the upline. Guys, listen. I don't know if you play golf, I'm sure some of you guys do. Most of us would probably agree it's easier, whether you're good or bad at golf. Anybody, even a terrible golfer, is probably more likely to be successful if their ball is on the tee, okay, in the tee box, and they can hit from the tee, as opposed to the ball being thrown in 2 feet worth of 2 feet of grass, and they're trying to hit the ball out of 2 foot of grass. Okay, guys, introductions can be that way. An introduction can be a ball set on the tee. An introduction can be, let me throw the ball over there in the rough and let you go find it. And by the way, good luck getting it out of the rough. That's what we do, guys, when we introduce speakers. I don't care if it's on a conference call, it could be a one-on-one, it could be in front of a room of 500 people, it could be in front of an executive lunch of 10 people.
okay, when you're doing the introduction and you're doing the edification, realize this, you're never edifying the speaker's benefit. I mean, when it comes to introducing speakers, I never, if I edify, I don't edify for their benefit. I'm edifying for the benefit of the audience, okay? To edify them, to transfer credibility to them. Guys, we can't assume, even on training calls and things, we can't assume that even if I'm your speaker, you can't assume that everybody knows who I am, because guess what? There could be people on this phone call that just joined me today that don't know anything about the speaker's background. They don't know anything about their history, that sort of thing. So you always edify. But it's better coming from a third party than it is from the speaker themselves. Much better for someone else to edify you than for you to sit there and edify yourself to the prospect, right? So it's always powerful when you have a sponsor or even an observer can certainly do the edification, do the upline, no problem. But certainly better when it's someone who knows the guest and know the prospect, and obviously they can. At that point in time, they kind of bridge that gap, if you will. Just make sure the application focuses on the presenter, not focused on the prospect. Okay. Now, if you're an observer during the presentation with the master presenter, here's a couple things. Number one is taking notes. Remember, the number one reason that you're there is to learn. Okay, so the person who attends the presentation should be taking notes. They should be there early. Okay, they should be ready to roll. They should be looking the part, ready to add and contribute to the meeting, and they are there to take notes. Guys, listen, a couple things. All right. First of all, if I'm going to do a presentation for you, I want you there if there's any way possible. Can't be there, I understand. But if you can be there, I want you to be there. It's like we talked about here on the training call Monday night, guys. You need to be there, okay? Nothing is more irritating than if I'm giving a presentation for a distributor and they get up, they're text messaging, they're surfing the internet. I mean, listen, if that's going to be the case, if they're not going to participate, they're not going to take notes, I won't give the presentation. I've done it before, obviously, but I have literally closed the book in the middle of a presentation before because I've had a distributor who was sitting there sending text messages on their phone and laughing, not paying any attention. And obviously, they know how to present, they probably wouldn't have either doing it, right? And even if they know how to present, it's respectful. I would show the same courtesy. I don't care if it's my downline. If I'm sitting there in a presentation, my downline during the presentation, I am still going to be seated, leaning forward, without no slump, not slumping on my chair, taking notes, interested, nodding my nod or grinning my grin, even throwing out an amen from time to time, okay? So if you're going to be the observer, guys, it is crucial and critical to realize you play a role and you play a part in that presentation whether you know it or not. And so it's critical that observer is there taking notes, guys, okay? And as a speaker, as a master presenter, you can't assume that your lead downline knows this. You have to tell them. You have to say, listen, I want to do a little pre-briefing today. It's very important I have you do the introduction because this is obviously your guest and your prospect. So you're going to do the intro, you're going to introduce us and edify me. You may do a little bit of edification for the prospect, but 90% needs to be on the speaker. So you let them know that. But you let them know, listen, once the presentation starts, I need you to make sure your phone is off. Please do not get up unless absolutely unavoidable. And please make sure to take notes the entire time, okay? And let the prospect know. All right, now, another big one is no interruptions. No interruptions. Sometimes from time to time, the new distributor who's the sponsor means well, and they'll interrupt the speaker, and if they think maybe they forgot to tell them this, or forgot to mention something, or left this out, or whatever it may be, guys, even if you're there and the speaker leaves something out, do not interrupt. It's incredibly disrespectful and edifying, especially on the telephone. Once that three-way starts, man, one person's doing the talking, okay? And that's just kind of what it is. And there'll be times where you're the one who's always listening because you're the downline. There's going to be other times where you're the downline is there listening to you and not in the matter and taking notes on your presentation. Okay? Now, big tip I'll share with you. Remember, number one reason you do presentations is to train. Second reason is to sign up. I would encourage you to actually have people take notes on the presentation slides themselves. There's a big tip that I'll give to you. Take presentation slides with you everywhere you go. Black and white, take them together. Make 5 to 10 sets of these up Kinko's and just carry them with you. Okay, that way your person can take notes on the actual slide. What a concept! Think about guys. Where are they most likely to learn and read their notes? Is it going to be on the notepad? The notes get buried, in their desk drawer, and they never can find them. What if they have their notes on an actual presentation slide? What if they can actually take notes on each slide as you were talking? They can make notes to themselves about how you did it, what you said, the stories you gave. Think along those lines during that presentation. They could actually write those things down so they could then take that with them, and if they wanted to, they could actually use that for practice and things along those lines. Okay, but again, don't assume they're going to have that unless you tell them to. Okay, make sure if I were you, I'd bring some of those in your bag. I'll also encourage you to have extra notepads and pens in your bag for your prospects, because studies have shown more writing that the prospect does, the more likely they are to sign up and enroll in your business. Okay, so very, very powerful. Matter of fact, that leads me to my next point, which is being prepared. Guys, a master presenter is always prepared. Okay, first of all, business cards. Okay, you get business cards. We got LS360 tools, I believe it is. There's like 50 different versions of business cards. We got more. So we'll be doing, you have your own business card. I don't care if it's a 360 card, your own private card, you ask which one, just whatever's easier. Just have a business card, okay? Not a business card from your previous work. Unless you've only been here for a few days, please get some new cards made, for like 10 bucks, right? I'm joking, but at the same time, you do the age, I've got leaders that are gold in the company giving out old cards and stuff. But to have your business cards, guys, you got to have products to sample, okay? Very, very important. You need to have pens and notepads for prospects. Notepads for your prospects, very, very important. You need presentation slides for distributors. Okay, don't assume they're going to have those for yourself. You obviously need to have your own presentation book. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what we use at 60, it's very simple. It's not high-tech. If you have iPads and all that stuff, that's fabulous. I have an iPad. You'll notice I never use an iPad. I use an old-school black half-inch 3-ring binder with clear plastic sleeves, with my presentation slides back-to-back inside those sleeves. Why do I do that? Do I do it because I like that? No, I like iPad, guys. But I don't want to do the presentation and have my prospect think they need an iPad to be successful. That's why the video is so powerful. Everybody can play a video. We'll have a video for you soon. But in the meantime, guys, go to Kinko's. Don't put this at home, by the way, on your homemade printer. Spend $15, $20, and get these made at Kinko's. On the fiery printer, write them on the fiery, F-I-E-R-Y. On the fiery printer, get your presentation book made up. And that way you have it in a black half-inch 3-ring binder, okay? Very important, right? Next, you need third-party credibility. Think of a successful home reprint. Angie and I have done. That's an excellent credibility piece. Here's the person I work with. Our VP of Sales, and here's the story. They're like 50 cents a piece. You also have the free 6 chocolate brochures. You have company literature. Some of this stuff is even free. It can be printed for free. The only thing that I'll tell you is invest a few bucks in your business and get them printed off of Kinko's or a coffee shop. Don't print them from your home computer. Coffee place where they have a nice thick paper, it's worth a few extra cents to get that done. But the thing, guys, in your bags, you should always flyers, and you should always have third-party credibility material, okay? And then finally, you also want to make sure, I think I already mentioned, you want to make sure you have product for that person to sample, okay? Now, to start the actual presentation, you've done everything we talked about. You're there earlier. You got your distributors who are observing. They've been pre-briefed and they're ready to roll. Now it's time for the meeting. The prospect shows up and you say your greetings and such, and it's time to get started. Guys, what you always want to do is professional. Whenever you greet a new person, especially someone you don't know, you're doing a presentation for someone else, you always want to start providing a business card, okay? That's important because, guys, sometimes we meet people and you got to learn to get good at this, by the way, if you want to be a master presenter. But we meet people and we forget their name, and what's cool about it, if you have a business card sitting right there, you can look down and you can recall, quickly. So it's a good idea for you to get their card, especially if you have a challenge. Some people have time to learn more, difficult to remember name others, but the point is, guys, is that you want to try to get their card if you can. Definitely want to make sure that you give your card. It shows you're professional. Okay. Number two, right, is you want to make sure that you are pre-closing. Guys, this is so important. You want to get the unfair advantage. Ladies and gentlemen, how would you like to literally have every prospect you ever show the plan to be about 75% in the company before you ever go to the first slide? Okay? You can do it, folks. It's called the pre-close. All right? So to give you an example of how this works, you're at your table, your prospect arrives with his wife and your distributor there. You all greet one another, say your pleasantries, you all sit down, you provide them with a business card, you welcome them, you have a little bit of small talk, and then obviously at that point in time, it's time for business, right? So your distributor is there with you, they're the person who's kind of brought the party together. That distributor, goes ahead and introduces guys. We're really thankful for both of you being here. You're both, two people I have tremendous respect for. In this case, if I'm the presenter, Stephen, I told you about Mr. Smith's background and what he's been able to accomplish. Mr. Smith, this is Stephen Thomson. And that's when he goes into his edification. So again, not disregarding the prospect, okay? But who's the person doing the selling of it? Who's doing the presenting, right? You don't want to yourself in an unfair disadvantage where all of a sudden the prospect is the big cheese and you are trying to get them to do you a favor by placing your company with presence, right? And that's why the distributor or sponsor wants to make sure to really edify whoever the speaker is. I don't know what I said earlier. Downline. I'm the one who will edify you. How often do you hear me edify these leaders on conference calls? Why do you think that we do that? Well, we do it, number one, because I mean what I say about them. But the only reason that I do that is to empower them to basically be able to go out and grow their business, which is also our business. Okay? And so never be stingy with edification. Always be willing to give that edification out. That is a different training for a different day. That is so powerful. And so you sit down, you go through your edification, and the sponsor makes the introduction. Now, when it's time for that to happen, at that point in time, obviously, he wants to turn it over to the presenter, who should have the floor, so to speak. And it's at that time, what you want to do is you want to go through your pre-closes, okay? Pre-close, guys, is not anything really hard. It's not anything, it's not a strong arm by any means, but it's getting down to a couple of agreements up front. This is a rule that I use, before I'll show a presentation. I basically do this. It's a law with me. I've done so many presentations that ended up not being fruitful. I just would have done something on the front end. Maybe it could either made it fruitful, or at least I would have known going in it wasn't going to be fruitful, right? A couple of the pre-close questions that I like to start with and I like to ask. Number one is, tell me, I'll write these down, so tell me, Mr. Prospect, what's got you looking right now? Okay? What has you looking right now? Now, the reason I like to ask that question is pretty obvious. I want to know what's got them looking. That's the last thing I have time to do is sit there and show the presentation for an hour or 30 minutes or whatever somebody, and to have them say, well, it looks good, it sounds great, but I'm not really interested in doing anything different. If they're not interested in doing anything different, then A, we have a problem. Maybe they don't need a presentation, or B, maybe they really are looking, but they just want to act like they're not. Or whatever. So I said, tell me, what's got you looking? And you'll get different responses. I wasn't really looking, but Joe called me. Okay, well, that's cool. Let me ask you a question. Are you making all the money you can spend? No. Would you like that more free time? Yeah. So I can fish that problem a little bit if I need to. And I said, well, great. And I always use the Bill felt found as a master presenter, and I know exactly how you feel. I felt the exact same way. What I found was blank. Okay, that's a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's called being a master presenter. It's also why we're recording this, so you can go back and listen to it again. Point, guys, I'm asked, tell me, what's got you looking right now? Okay, great. Well, listen, my next question is, okay, great, John. By the way, make a note for Big Star. You want to say the prospect's name as many times as you can. At least 10 times in every presentation, you should be saying the prospect's name. Guys, listen. The sweetest sound to anyone's ears is the sound of their own name. Okay? Wow, very powerful. Guys, don't let this overwhelm you. Gosh, I gotta remember this, I gotta remember that. Remember the Chinese proverb, okay? It's not until we do something that we begin to understand it. So this is where the doing part comes in. But
we also have spaced repetition by recording this call, placing it up on the Biz site. You can download it, put it on your iPod, your iPhone if you want your MP3. You can listen to it over and over again. All this stuff that I'm sharing with you, listen, true story, I put these together tonight in about 15 minutes. You know how I did it? Couldn't find my master presenter notes. I'm not sure. I got this new computer, and so I couldn't find them. So I just sat down, and everything I'm telling you all came from memory. Why? Because I know this. Now, I need a little bit of notes to guide myself, but I probably could have sat here totally with no notes and pulled all this out of memory because I know the information. I promise you. The first day I started, all this was extremely overwhelming. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to learn this thing. No, you will learn this, but it's not going to happen overnight. It's why it's called a master presenter. Okay? Being most things takes a little bit of time, right? It certainly does here as well, okay? So don't be intimidated, right? You can listen to the recording, you'll do it a few times, and you'll get better each time. With practice, perfect practice makes the same guy, right? And so the point of that, guys, let's go to my first question. My next question to the prospect is, well, what do you listen to your question about? Using his name. If I could show you a way, okay, where you guys, you and your wife, Sarah, could literally earn 6 figures, okay, in your part-time hours, not affecting anything that you currently do, would that be something that would interest you? Okay, and I say, yeah, I'm going to be nodding. That would interest you, right? So let me ask you a question. If I could show you a way to make a 6-figure income, not affecting anything you currently do, John, you could find a few hours to invest in that just on a regular basis. Could you maybe a few hours here and a few hours there? Okay. And he said, I certainly could do that. Well, I asked that question because I want to get the time objection out of the way right up front before I ever open my presentation book. Okay. The other thing I also want to get out is the money objection. Okay. So I said, great. So if I could show you a way to get that, if what we have today is real, and you really did believe you could make a 6-figure income, with effectively you currently do, you would have at least a couple $100 to invest into the business, wouldn't you? I'm not her. And I'll probably wait for them to answer. Yes, I have at least a couple of dollars that I can invest. Why do I ask that question? I asked that question because the last thing I want to do is hire a presentation, get down at the end if I have enough money or she has enough money and can't sign up. Now, I've done that where the person said, actually, I don't. Financially, I just couldn't afford that. Well, guys, at least I can put that on the table. And I can say, well, okay, I certainly respect that. Let me ask you a question. How long would it take you to come up with it if you like what you started today? Or excuse me, let me grab a drink of water. I've been talking for about an hour here. Okay, great. Thank you. Or I might say, is there someone that you might call that could potentially help you out there if you need a little bit of assistance? And so the point is, I'll find out from them that's something that is a possibility. Guys, I've had people say, no, I can't borrow it, I don't know where to find it, and I'm still giving a presentation. The point is, you know what you're getting into when it comes to that presentation. I want to cover the time, guys. I want to cover the money. Okay? And the final thing that I want to cover is the decision. So what I say to people, the last thing I feel like is presenting for an hour or 30 minutes or whatever to find out that they can't make a decision. So I just simply say, well, that's great, John. Well, let me just, before we start, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page, John, Sarah, and listen. If you like what you're getting ready to see here, you guys could make a decision to move forward today, couldn't you? No. I'm not doing it, okay? It's a very light, very delicate, very non-invasive set of questions that I like to ask. And again, the reason I do is they say, no, I couldn't move forward today. So that's interesting. They'll tell me a little bit about that. And what does that mean? Well, my wife's not here. I don't make decisions without my wife. Then we can handle that equation. Now, if I'm dealing with a cold market person, I'm a lot stronger. Because when it comes to cold market, you can waste a lot of time. So if you have maybe an ad you're running or something like that, or someone else on social media, I ask these questions in a lot more of a fun way because the last thing I want to do is sit down and show a presentation for somebody that's never going to do anything that way. Does that make sense? So don't let those questions intimidate you. 4 questions, okay, you're basically asking again. First question is you're asking, really 5 if you want to include the intro, but number 1 is what has you looking? What's got you looking right now? Well, number two, so let me ask you a question. If I could show you something here today, incredibly unique, that can be done very part-time, affect anything you currently do, you'd have an interest in that, wouldn't you? Okay, great. So now, a couple things here. This is 2 hours of time on a weekly basis. This would take, I assume, to make a six-figure income. You could find a few hours a week, right? Okay, great. And just want to make sure as well, before we get started, it does take at least a couple $100 to launch. We're going to do here just some startup materials and brochures, and that's not a problem for you this time, is it? Okay, cool. And finally, if you like what you see, I do assume you guys can make a decision more forward with this today, right? Okay, awesome, excellent. Well, here's what I want to do. I'm going to ask you a question, right? You or anybody you know love chocolate. At that point in time is when I pull out my chocolate presentation book, but it's also when I pull out some samples. I always want my prospects to eat chocolate before the presentation begins. Critical and crucial. Before the presentation begins. Matter of fact, one chocolate I want them to eat, and I usually use this last, is the pure energy. Why? Because I want them to wake up, I want them to be excited, I want them to be energized, right? Pure energy. So very important, okay? And so at that point in time, ladies and gentlemen, I dive into my presentation. I'm going to hit a few highlights in the presentation here in just a moment. It's not the presentation itself that's the most important thing. Our presentation is very, very easy, okay? And you just learn the presentation really through spaced repetition. So what I want you to remember about showing the plan is that the person you're showing it to has never seen the presentation. So they don't know if it's a good presentation. They don't know if it's a bad presentation. They've never seen it before, right? And so don't worry about it being great. You don't need to wait to show the plan. I have people that, I'm just not ready. I need a few more weeks. No, guys, come on. You need to do is figure out a plan, do a couple for you. You're out the door and ready to get started. Guys, when I first got in this business of network marketing, my upline lived in North Carolina. And he lived, I don't know, a 10-hour drive. Something like that. And if I would wait on him to show the plan for me, this is before webinars and Skype and all that, I'd still be waiting. I mean, it wasn't happening. I had to go out and get my own business started myself, just learning and listening to the conference calls and then listening and recording a presentation or two. Which, by the way, I don't mind people recording my presentation. If they want to pull out their phone or they want to pull something out, I'll do presentations sometimes and I feel like I'm in a press conference. I've had 5, 10 phones on a conference table and people just recording the presentation so they can listen to it over and over again, right? And so the presentation part is really the easiest part, guys. It's really becoming a master presenter. My experience is people don't struggle with the presentation. What they struggle with is the beforehand, and they struggle with the after part. That's why I wanted to spend the majority of our time tonight really on becoming that master presenter, what to do before and what to do after, okay? So you get into your presentation. The thing I'll say to you, once we have the video, you'll want to use that video pretty much exclusively, okay? And I'm talking about even if you're one-on-one, you have a little portable laptop with you, you play that video, and you take notes during the video. Why? Because let me ask you a question. Is it easier for that person to ask if they can play a video, or easier for that person to ask if they can flip the pages and point? Okay, you and I both know the answer, right? So until we get the video, half-inch black, 3-ring binder presentation booklet, okay? And of course, obviously, you have paperwork inside of that book. Something we didn't mention on the list of things to have, but you got to have your paperwork. You got to have 4 pieces of paperwork at every presentation. Write this down. First and foremost, application. Application. That's number 1. Number 2, your win sheet on a double-sided photocopy. Okay, and I suggest color for your win sheet. That's the only color you need in paperwork. Okay. Number 3, your current promotion. What type of promotion are we currently running? And number 4, the next event registration form. Those are always standard 4 pieces of paperwork that you need anytime you are giving a present. Very, very important. Okay. Now here we go, guys. You are, kind of giving a present. I like to use a red felt tip marker to kind of catch my prospect's attention. If you have your slides,
inside of a clear plastic sleeve, it's really easy for you to kind of wipe this off. But I like to catch their attention with a red felted non-permanent marker to kind of move either during the presentation to kind of keep their eyes on the slides. And then guys, you just give your presentation. That part is the simplest part of all. I want to shift gears and I want to talk a little bit about the close. This is where many people struggle. They don't know how to close. They don't know what to say at the end, if you will. Okay. Number one, guys, we have built in one of the most incredible closes in the history of network marketing with our monthly projects and our waiting rooms. You see, guys, the waiting room works really very simple. It kind of goes like this, okay? Every single person who joins your team, okay, in the month that you join gets placed into the organization at the exact same time. So let's just say hypothetically at the end of this month, there are 100 people that have joined your team this month. Well, let me ask you a question. How would you like an opportunity to have all 100 placed below you, okay? And you can actually get a head start with over 100 people on your team, or 50 or 200, or whatever the goal may be. What I like to ask people is a simple question. If you've been in network marketing before, let me ask you, okay, how many people did that last company that you were involved in give you your very first day in your downline that you were getting paid on so that you could have the proper head start to launch your business? Guys, I love that question because the answer every single time is zero. They gave me zero. And I like to ask them, let me ask you a question. If I gave you 10 or 20 or 50 or 100 people down below you your very first day so that you had a head start and you could get paid on everything those 50 or those 100 people did for life, would you be willing to get started today? Okay? That close, guys, I'm sorry, that's the most leap ever. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, it takes away every single question in their mind. It takes away all their objections. The bottom line is, I've got these people going in. Let me put them beneath you. So the point is, ladies and gentlemen, you have to use the waiting room, okay? You have to work the projects. Well, you don't have to, but if you want to really be a master presenter, and if you want to get incredible results from your presentations, you want to make sure that you're using the waiting room in your closes, okay? Crucial and critical. All right, now, next is this. Okay, you've got to ask for the order. When they say, yes, I'd like to do that, you say, fantastic, okay? Would you like to go to the top of the top of this organization, would you like to go at the bottom, okay? Just pick your pack, leader, builder, more basic, and where you want to get placed, and we'll take care of it for you. At that point in time, guys, you literally pull out the piece of paper, you pull out the application, and you actually sit in their hand and ask them to fill out paperwork right then. This is one where some people get a little bit kind of jittery, but guys, listen, if you're going to take the time to meet up, spend the hour between your drive time and such to meet this person, guys, you got to ask for the order. You can't be timid. They'll say timid network marketers have skinny dips, right? You can't be timid. You got to ask for it. So you put the paperwork in their hand, and the guys, once you put that paperwork in their hand, here's the golden rule. He or she speaks first, loses. You don't say a word, folks. What I like to do is pull out their win sheet, and I like to start making some important marks and filling in some information like the upline and things like that on their win sheet. And I'll just sit there and quietly write on that while I wait for them or to go tell me what their objections are, okay? Guys, we do another great training called Closing and Handling of Objections that really mirrors this becoming a master presenter. We'll do that for you here very soon and marry these two together. We have some great closing and handling objections training on the Power Series as well. Okay? The final thing I want to say, we're running a little long on time here. This is well worth the investment for all of us here tonight. And that is learning to start people correctly. There's an old saying that if you start them right, they will finish right. Folks, it is very, very important. Number one, and I'm just going to hit three very important points on starting people correctly. Number one, folks, responsibility as a leader to be putting product in the hands of your brand new people. What I like to put is 2 bags of chocolate, 1 bag of Electrolytes, 1 bag of Pure.
Now, folks, again, I don't give the chocolate away. Okay? They can buy it from me. I say, listen, we need to get this thing started for you. You've got samples that you're going to want to be giving out. Give me $4. That's the wholesale price. I'll pay the shipping. Here's your first 2 bags of chocolate because I can't afford for you to wait. And I need you, by the way, to be a product of the product as is discussed in the win steps. Okay? Next, I'm going to put third-party credibility and some brochures in their hand. I don't want them to walk out of there with nothing, guys. I want them to leave product and also want them to leave some literature. The final thing is I want to cover the win sheet with them. Right then and there, we're going to cover the 3 steps. We're going to cover the 3 questions. Guys, we're going to cover the invitation script. We're going to cover it all right then and right there, okay? Because it's important, guys. I mean, depending upon, again, it's not just about, I don't sign people up just to sign them. That's like making a sale. I don't want to be in sales. I want to have residual income. I want to have mailbox money that comes in over and over again. I want to put 50, 80, 100 people in our business, every single hour. You know what I'm saying? The only way that's going to happen is when you have an army of presenters that are out there and an army of presentations that are going on every single day. So I want to take that win sheet. I want to make it come alive. Now, guys, I don't have time for that training. It's on the Power Series. But I'm telling you guys, you've got to start your people correctly. You've got to win them over. Most people make the mistake and they think that the presentation is done, right? As soon as, they think the work is done as soon as the sign-up is done. And that's absolutely incorrect, guys. The work, I'm going to tell you right now, the work is beginning when you sign up. That's when the work is really starting, okay? Because now you've got me in the business, but now it's time to get me moving forward. What we call P&P stands for plugged in and participating, okay? So I've got to have product in my hand so I can be a product of the product, folks. I mean, we've got people who get our thermo, and literally they lose 5 pounds in 2 days. Well, hello, don't you think they're hooked on the chocolate at that point, right? Well, they get the pures and they come out of coffee and energy drinks, or they get the candle and they got pain that goes away. They get the Manna, they start losing weight. Whatever it may be, you get product in their hand right away. Now, guys, as far as that concludes tonight's Becoming a Master Presenter training, I want to touch on very quickly the new presentation. Most of you know we just launched a brand new presentation. Now, anytime we launch a brand new presentation, guys, designing a presentation, you design what you feel is about 5% of that presentation to be absolutely locked in, okay? But there's 5% of the presentation that until you have yourself and your key leaders that have done some dry runs with that presentation, you're still not going to absolutely have it perfect. So we got the presentation up on the website right now, guys. We are, as we told a bunch of leaders in an email earlier today, we are reserving the right through Friday to make some tweaks and modifications. So I encourage you to hold off on being a large quantity printing of the presentation. If you can use digital right now for the next 48 hours. After Friday, guys, the presentation will be absolutely rock solid final. It will not change for, the last presentation didn't change for a year. So it's not going to change, guys. It'll be locked in. And solid. But I'll tell you about our new presentation compared to the presentation that was used in 2013. It's much more customer friendly. It's a very easy presentation. I mean, easy to show. It's actually on video. It's going to be broken down into 2 parts. A quick 10-minute product portion, and then about a 15-minute business portion. So from that perspective, it's very easy. You are going to love it if you haven't heard that presentation done just yet. As a matter of fact, let me just verify something here. I believe, and I'm just going to verify my notes here. I believe, and yes, that is correct. I am actually tomorrow night with our very own gold executive out of Waco, Texas, the absolutely fabulous Ular. Lisa and I will be doing our presentation tomorrow night. Lisa and Thomas, we call them TLC, that stands for Thomas and Lisa's Chocolate. These
These guys are incredible. And tomorrow night, Lisa's got our background guys, just so you know, accounting, and also as a small business owner. Her and Thomas came into this company, folks, and absolutely lit it up. They had been in network marketing before, never made any money. They came to 360. They exploded their business in the very first week they were involved, and they never looked back. They now have an organization that spans the world, doing an absolutely incredible job for us. And so just so you know, Lisa and I will be doing that presentation with the webinar tomorrow night. I do encourage you to be on there and try to watch that if you can. We'll probably record that as well, so you can have a kind of a hear, if you will, how this presentation goes out. But guys, listen, here's what I know, and this is my wish for you. My wish for you is to become a master presenter. And the reason for it, folks, is because I want you to learn to create the unfair advantage in your business and network marketing. So many people in this industry, they never learn. I mean, they can be in for 20 years, and they never learn tonight. They never learn how to become a master presenter. The reason you want to become a master presenter, folks, is because you want to be the master over your fate, okay? And when I say fate, I mean your success levels, okay? Success is a choice here, guys. It doesn't just happen. It's not an accidental thing. It's creating it, and it's learning the skill sets that need to be done. It doesn't mean you have to have these day one, but it's willing to get on a call for an hour and 20 minutes and get trained, to get mentored, and learn to sweat small stuff, guys, so you too can become a master presenter. And that, again, is my wish for you tonight. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, have an absolutely incredible evening. We appreciate you guys being with us tonight. We'll definitely get this posted as quickly as possible so we have a nice audio version for you. And we'll have that archive cleaned up on the Biz site as soon as possible. So with that being said, have a great evening, everybody. And we'll hear you on the conference call. Join us tomorrow night with your guests, guys. It's going to be absolutely awesome, and we look forward to hearing you tomorrow. Talk to you then. Bye-bye now.